Welcome to Rainy Day Rabbit Holes,
a uniquely Pacific Northwest podcast.
I'm Shea.
And I'm Jody.
Let's fall down the rabbit hole. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us on our very first episode. So, hey, Jody, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to do this podcast with you.
I am too. This is going to be so much fun. It's already been so much fun.
It has been a lot of fun. So, well, for the listeners that just joined us on this very first episode, they probably are wondering what this podcast is, what we're doing here, why we're here, who are we, what is life even? So why don't you tell them a little bit about how we got here and what this is?
Well, Shea and I both live in the Pacific Northwest. We were raised here, Western Washington, to be specific. And we have a lot of fun in the Pacific Northwest. We go all over breweries, hiking, whatever it is. And we were just camping one time, sitting around the campfire over a couple beers, discussing all these interesting tidbits about the Pacific Northwest. And then we thought maybe we should do a podcast because we always go down rabbit holes when we start thinking about these little interesting tidbits in the Northwest. And then Shea came up with the idea for Rainy Day Rabbit Holes, and I was all in.
Yeah. I mean, it started out as, tipsy talk.
Yeah.
Like you do, where you make all these big plans and dreams and stuff when you're drinking around a campfire. And then later on, when we saw each other again and we were fully sober.
Yeah.
We had actually both been thinking about it a lot, and we were like, hey, were we serious about that? And we both said yes.
Yes.
And so Rainy Day Rabbit Holes, the podcast was born.
Yep. And here we are.
Here we are, yeah. One thing about the Pacific Northwest is just, it's a huge area from Alaska all the way to Northern California. So it's a big geographical area, and there's so many diverse, not only climates, but people and just really interesting things. There's crazy people.
Yes.
There's interesting people. There's beautiful places. There's really unique stories. And there's also a lot of really influential companies that started here in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, can you think of one or two
right.
giant companies that started here? Let's meet an Amazon, maybe a Microsoft, maybe Costco. Yeah. Can we talk about giant things like that? So then we were like, yes, we want to talk about these things.
Yeah, so we decided we wanted to go forward with our podcast, and we started making plans. What did that look like? What kind of things would we seek out? What kind of rabbit holes could we go down? What kind of format did we want to do this in? What kind of equipment? How do we even do this? And did a lot of research. And now we've decided we're going to go on adventures that will spark our curiosity and send us down rabbit holes. And we'll be doing that all over the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, we decided instead of just looking up a topic and researching it and then telling you about it, we would actually see if we can go visit these places, talk to the people, and experience these things personally so that we can have a more enriching experience and have a better story to tell you. And yes, it is a great excuse for us just to go on little road trips.
I know. Yes. I love road trips, especially little ones. I don't want to get in the car for 12 days, but I do. So the Pacific Northwest is our perfect amount of geography because we could do that. Head out for 3 or 4 days, come back, start digging into the things we saw, things that intrigued us, brought us to a questioning mindset, and decided to start going down rabbit holes.
Yep. And we chose the name Rainy Day Rabbit Holes because, well, it's Pacific Northwest. There's a lot of rainy days, so you have to find ways to keep yourself busy and occupied. And sometimes you just start exploring things online or whatnot, and you fall down that proverbial rabbit hole. So that's why Rainy Day Rabbit Holes. Plus, rabbits are cute. And you have these rabbits running around your yard.
I do. I have a lot of real rabbit holes.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you're wondering a little bit about us and want to know a little bit more about us. I'm Shea, and I live somewhere between Seattle and Tacoma here in Western Washington. I work in the real estate industry, which means that I don't work a lot right now because the real estate industry is not in a very good place at the moment. So I guess I have more time for podcasting. I teach group fitness as a hobby, so bar and Pilates and indoor cycling and I mean really whatever. I can even fake my way through a yoga class. I'm married, no kids. I have one elderly cat that's kind of hanging in there by a thread. So future podcast, he may no longer be around. I love to camp. I have a cute little trailer that I camp in. I like to go paddleboarding, and I like to float rivers in a tube and drink beer. I like to craft. I like to hike. I like to listen to true crime podcasts. And like I already said, I like to drink craft beer. I do consider myself a beer snob. So on our adventures, we'll definitely be visiting a lot of breweries and probably a lot of wineries too, and cideries. I've got a really good cidery around the corner we got to go visit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Jody, what about you?
Yes.
Tell us about you.
I'm Jody. My real job is that I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse manager for a critical care department for a local hospital, or actually system, because I work at 2 hospitals. I also live not far from Shea, so in the same geography. I'm married and have been for 33 years. And I have 4 daughters and 6 grandkids, one on the way any day now, definitely by the time this drops.
Yeah.
I'll have baby number 7.
And guys, I got to tell you, she does not look like a grandma. So she definitely looks a lot younger than her years. And
2 things. Genetics, I got lucky.
Yeah, she
and
has gorgeous
also
skin.
I started early. I had my first child while I was still in high school. So it helps to be a young grandma when you start having children young. But
yeah, there you go.
they are my entire life. They're the funnest, biggest reward for any hard work of parenting. They are my buddies. I love, my husband and I love to go camping, hiking, kayaking. Everything in the Northwest is appealing to us. So just venturing out with him, I'll also be grabbing some rabbit holes, I'm sure. So I'm pretty excited about this. It gives me a good excuse to go places. It's more fun because now I have something, it's deeper, because now when I'm out on these adventures, I'm looking for more than just being there. So
right. Well, and now we have more of a reason to go visit places we may never have gone.
Correct. They'd be on the list, but maybe never get there. Now I have a reason to do that. I was just telling somebody that the other day, because on our road trip, you'll see we went down the Oregon coast into the Redwood Forest, which has always been a bucket list item. But generally, every time I head to California or Oregon, my daughter played soccer at Oregon State. I always thought, oh, let's take the 101 so we can get, the pretty views and see that. But, it's just faster to go I-5.
Yeah.
And so you don't. But now there's a purpose. I have to go down the 101 or go that extra long route or go see something I would have maybe not done that time, but maybe done later.
Absolutely. So it gives us, a lot more purpose in our ramblings.
Yeah.
And will push us to get out and do more things instead of just sitting on the couch.
Absolutely.
So instead we'll be out adventuring. So
it definitely has been a minute since I've watched TV because we're out exploring. There's just no time.
Well, I just started the 3rd season of The Only Murders in the Building. Murders in the Building. So now when I have a little bit of time to myself and I can fold laundry and watch Only Murders. So that's where I am right now. And I still watch my Star Trek. I'm a big old Star Trek nerd, as you'll hear in one of our upcoming episodes. Basically, here's how it's going to work for the first 5 or 6 episodes. We went on a week-long road trip down the Oregon coast to California. We are going to, for our first few episodes, basically report back and recap on that road trip. And you'll hear about day 1 of that trip today after this intro. And then we will be taking you down the rabbit holes that we found along the way.
Yeah, we found some great topics. Some things really struck our curiosity, and I'm pretty excited to share all of these with our listeners.
It's been really fun finding these little tidbits that were kind of hidden behind the scenes of a place that, you may have been to or you may have heard about, and you just know it for 1 or 2 things. And then when you really start researching, then you start finding out some other interesting tidbits about that place and even maybe some scandals, which is what I'm all about. I'm like, find me the scandals.
And I'm like, oh, okay, let's be sensitive.
Yeah, we got to be sensitive.
We're going to come somewhere in the middle here.
I know. I was like, definitely there was a murder here, right?
And I'm like, yeah, but the family's still around.
I know. My husband's like, you cannot turn this into another true crime podcast. And I was like, I know. Yeah, no, this is not going to be another true crime podcast, although we may talk about some true crime sort of stuff, because one of the things that the Pacific Northwest seems to have a lot of is cults and serial killers. So,
True.
but I don't want to go down a dark road and have our podcast be a bum out.
Right.
So when we do report on those, we're not going to report on any of the gore. You don't need to hear that. You can hear that on a million other podcasts. And I'll try to keep it to something that you may not have heard before. Things like Ted Bundy, who lived here. We'll probably talk more about his victims than him. And I know somebody who is actually doing a documentary about his victims, and I hope to bring her in to talk about her documentary at some point, but that'll be way down the road. So anyways, most of it is going to be fun stuff.
Yes, quirky characters. I'm hoping to see lots of those because there are so many.
Yes. People like the Unipiper of Portland. Has anybody ever heard of him?
Nope.
He's
I haven't.
fascinating. He's very cool. Or if the Scarf Guy of Seattle is still alive, I want to track him down. We're going to go to some really fun events like the Solstice Parade in Ballard, where, you know, they paint their naked bodies up and ride bicycles down the middle of the street. Or we're going to try to get out to the outhouse races in January.
Are we riding bikes naked ourselves?
I mean, I've kind of wanted to ever since I
There
moved
will be a
to
lot of pain,
Seattle.
but I'll do it.
I have to wear underwear because that's unhygienic to sit on a bicycle seat naked.
Agreed. Yes. I feel like there'd be issues later if you.
Yeah, I probably would put on pasties.
Yeah, that's a good
Pasties
idea.
and underwear, and then we can paint ourselves up. Could we paint ourselves up like Sasquatch?
Oh my
We
goodness.
could both be hairy Sasquatch ladies.
Yes. Then I won't be insecure at all.
I know that painted hair will hide all the cellulite of my body. I'm not talking about you. I got the cellulite.
Yes, I do too. I'm a female Shea. I have cellulite.
Yeah. I've had cellulite since I was 13.
Right.
So, you know, it's just one of those things. Anyways, this is also not a body image podcast. So anyway, keep listening after this very long intro to listen to our recap of day one of our very first rainy day rabbit holes road trip.
And it was a blast.
It was a blast. And then come back next episode where we're going to talk about our very first rabbit hole that Jody went down. And then episode 3, we'll recap day 2 of the road trip, which was kind of interesting.
It was traumatic for some.
Part of the day.
Yes.
It was 50% traumatic and 50% fine.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe 75-20.
See, I'm always the one that finds the, oh no, Shea, it's great that we had this dumpster fire day because look what we got to do that we wouldn't have done if we hadn't had a dumpster fire. And she's like, no, it didn't go the way I wanted it to.
I have problems with control. All right, guys. Well, please enjoy our recap of day 1 and we'll see you after the episode.
Yes. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Jody, I'm tired.
So tired.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long, fabulous. It's a good tired.
What
Really
time
good
did
tired.
we leave this morning?
We left at, I left the house at like 5:45 because I planned on leaving at 5 and got to your house just after 6.
Well, you told me you were planning on leaving at 5:30. So 5:45 is actually respectable. Yeah.
It is. I always lie to myself at least 30 minutes early.
Well, it's been a long day. Who are we? What are we doing?
Hey, I'm Jody,
I'm Shea,
and this is Rainy Day Rabbit Holes.
and we're on a road trip.
It is our first road trip for the podcast, and we are having a blast and finding out so many wonderful things about this area, the Pacific Northwest. We've been from Washington, Oregon, and we have met some amazing people. It's a reminder of how wonderful people are, and as you go out and discover and question, and you just get to learn amazing things about people.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing. Well, maybe we should explain a little bit what the hell we're doing here.
Yeah.
So this is a podcast about the Pacific Northwest. And the Pacific Northwest surprisingly includes Northern California, Washington, Oregon, Alaska, Idaho, parts of Montana.
Mm-hmm.
So it covers a pretty big area. So we have a lot of playground.
Yes, we do. And it's beautiful and quirky and
Weird.
yeah, you get and so many amazing successful people. I'm learning so much about little things that we didn't know about the Pacific Northwest and just people that have just made a difference and you just didn't even know.
Yeah.
You just drive by or you say the name of the town and not realize what's behind it, how it got here. And when you start going down the rabbit hole, wow, wow, we
Yeah.
are so lucky to live here.
Yeah. So we're going to be going down rabbit holes on different things that strike our interest in the Pacific Northwest. So we're on a road trip right now from just south of Seattle near Tacoma, and we are headed all the way down the coast to San Francisco, California. So why are we driving to San Francisco?
Well, I am delivering a car to my sister-in-law. She's been in Washington for a few years, but she's moving back to San Francisco, and she now has elderly dog who is now a bougie elderly dog. She's lucky to have my sister-in-law Tia. And in order to make her comfortable on the move down to San Francisco, my sister-in-law rented a BMW so she would have more room. And Shea and I are driving down the Audi, which was previously named the Silver Bullet, but we decided to rename it. Shea picked this name, so I'm going to let her say it.
It's the stainless steel Siren.
And it is a fabulous car.
It's a 2013 Audi hatchback Quattro. I don't know what that means. I know nothing about Audis, but I can tell you this car has no backup camera, no USB ports. The 12 volt to try to plug your phone in does not work. We have still not quite figured out the seat warmer situation. It's a dial, not a button. The AC takes 5 minutes to turn on. There's undecipherable symbols on the dashboard.
Yes, we actually pulled over at one point, but then realized that we were just out of range for Sirius radio. We thought for sure the car was going to blow up.
Yes, but I will tell you, this car is fun to drive. Oh my gosh, my inner race car driver has come out. It hugs the road. It's super responsive. I've been having a blast driving it down the windy roads of the Oregon coast. While Jody gets to look out the window and look at the water, I am maniacally cackling as I pass RVs.
I got to drive all the way to Astoria, and then Shea said, well, I'll take a turn, and she's never given me the keys back. That was 9 a.m., and now it's 9 p.m.
Yeah. I kind of love the car. Yeah. My husband's going to probably be worried because I'll be like, I'll get rid of that 4Runner if I can get an Audi.
Will it tow your trailer?
No, it won't tow my trailer, so I'll have to have 2 cars. I'll keep the 4Runner.
Right, I was going to say you can't get rid of
and
the
I'll
4Runner.
pick up a used Audi as my, commuter car. There we go. So here's what today was like. Made it to Astoria, and this was Jody's first time in Astoria. So, Jody, what were your impressions about Astoria? What was the history of this?
This is the first settled town on the West Coast.
So, it's old.
Yeah, it's old. It's old.
That's all we know.
But I did find it is beautiful in the sense that all those Victorian homes, a lot of the homes are marked as historical sites. So very, very beautiful in many ways, but also a very coastal town that's no longer
Working class.
cutting down trees.
Oh, logging. Yeah.
It's late.
They can't see you making that slicing
The
gesture.
chopping.
They're doing what?
That was me calling for your help. That was an audible help. That's the word when you cut trees. Chop, chop.
So Astoria's a really neat town. It's kind of a little capsule in time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on the Columbia River, and the town is kind of built up on a hill. So many of these old houses from the late 1800s and early 1900s have fantastic views of the Columbia River. And I think it's basically right there where it dumps into the ocean. So you get these crazy views, cool old houses, amazing little old downtown. One of my favorite breweries, Fort George Brewing, is there if you ever are there. It was unfortunately, no, it was open, but we were on a roll.
It was 9 a.m.
And it was 9 a.m.
And our husbands weren't worth us, or we would have went anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So we stopped off at the Goonies house because Jody was like, I've heard there's the Goonies house. So we park, we walk up to the Goonies house, and she says, I have a confession to make.
I've actually never seen the movie, but yet I'm the one that wanted to go see this Goonies house. And now I'm going to watch the movie, though.
Yeah, she's going to watch the movie. I told her it's kind of a terrible movie, but it is a cult classic. Ignore a lot of the fat shaming that goes on in there.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's of the one little kid.
Kid fat shaming.
Yeah, it's kid fat shaming. That's what I can't remember the character's name, but he does the truffle shuffle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird movie. I don't know if you'll like it, but you should definitely watch it. The Goonies house itself is fairly boring.
Pretty much. If you didn't know the history behind it, you would
Yeah.
not be fascinated.
Yeah, unless you're a huge Goonies fan, I don't think that you're going to get much out of going to the Goonies house.
Yeah.
So you could skip it if you go to Astoria, or you could go there. It's a 5-minute drive out of your way.
It was nice to see that the current owners were happily allowing people to come see the house, take pictures outside the house. They keep it nice, and lots of signs about where to go and not to go and respecting the owners who actually live there. But at the same time, allowing us to see the house and take pictures and enjoy it. Previous owners apparently were not as fond of the background of this home and all the attention it brings. So I'm glad to hear that these owners are allowing it again and letting people take these pictures and see part of their childhood.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's that childhood nostalgia.
Yeah, yeah.
So after that, we drove up the hill to the highest point in Astoria, where they have the Astoria column, and it is a big column.
Phallic shaped column?
It's phallic. It's kind of like Oregon put a giant penis on the hill.
and we climbed up it.
And there's a spiral staircase. I think it's 164 steps.
Yes.
And we climbed up it. And I have a terrible fear of spiral staircases because I just imagine myself tumbling down and breaking my neck. So up was fine. I got dizzy. Down, I was shaking because down is when you fall.
That's true.
Astoria column is pretty cool to see just because the views up there are spectacular. Unfortunately, it is the Pacific Northwest and the Oregon coast, so it was foggy.
It was foggy.
And raining.
It was foggy. I definitely want to see it again. It was a 360-degree beautiful view. You got to see the river, you got to see the ocean, and you got to see the meat, and it was pretty amazing. It was a great view.
You get to see the meat?
Together.
Oh, them meat. I was like, what
not
meat
the
are we?
meat. Them.
No,
meat.
we were in the meat.
We were in the meat.
Oregon seems to have a fascination with phallic columns.
Yeah, they're on every bridge.
They're on every bridge. Beautiful Art Deco penis-looking columns.
Yes.
It's fascinating.
They are beautiful, though. Boring bridges do not exist here.
No, the bridges are gorgeous here. Yeah. So if you're a bridge aficionado, first off, you're kind of a nerd. Second off, you'll really like the bridges here.
I love nerds. So if you love bridges, let me know.
Yeah. Astoria, pretty cool little place.
It is a cool little place.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot to do there, I got to say, unless you just want to wander around. And
Right.
There's a lot of history. So this is one of the Lewis and Clark spots on their journey.
Oregon Trail.
Yeah, the Oregon Trail. So anyway, so that was great. And then from there, drove through Cannon Beach, which is a fancy schmancy beach town. It's a beautiful little artsy beach town. There's nothing that's seedy about that beach town. It's gorgeous. Expensive. Beautiful giant rock, Haystack Rock, where they do sandcastle tournaments in the summer and kite flying tournaments, and that was beautiful. And then I can't remember what we did after that.
We went to...
Well, we drove through Seaside. That's before Cannon Beach. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Seaside is more of a Coney Island sort of feel, a little more like New Jersey Shore type of thing. They have a boardwalk and kind of carnival type stuff and a lot more kid friendly things. It's a little more rundown, definitely a step below Cannon Beach. Not to shit on Seaside, because I do like staying in Seaside. It's fun, and it's definitely more affordable to stay in Seaside than Cannon Beach.
No, as we were driving through, I kept thinking, I got to bring the grandkids here. All of them. Like, could I bring them all by myself and just have a lot of fun?
But how
I think
many
we could.
grandkids do you have again?
6.9.
Right.
One due a couple weeks.
I don't think you can take them all at one time.
Why?
Are you willing to leash your grandchildren?
Oh, no.
Like a pack of dogs?
They are connected to me at all times. They all want to be touching me at all times. So I'm
Jody,
thinking
you would die. You would die.
I would have to bring another adult. But anyway, I think they'd have a blast, though. You know, they're 7 and under, boys, girls. There was something for all of them there.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Okay, we're going to take a quick break because I am sweating and I'm going to take my shirt off.
Yeah.
All right. And we're back from the break. I took my shirt off. I am now podcasting in my bra.
And I don't have my pants on. Just kidding.
So then you get back to the coast, and we went to the Heceta Head Lighthouse.
Yes, it was very intriguing, gorgeous. We're going to have to come back for that one.
Yeah.
When we got there, it was too late to go into the lighthouse. There's a bed and breakfast there that is beautiful. And we're actually going to be bringing our husbands back here for another trip. That's to be seen later podcast, because I think that's definitely worth an entire episode and more investigation.
Yeah.
More rabbit holing.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're
Did I
only
just make a verb out of rabbit hole?
rabbit holing.
We're rabbit holing.
It sounds a little dirty.
That's how we are.
Yeah.
That's what she said. So far, we found phallic symbols everywhere.
Yes.
That's what she
your
said.
hat has a vagina.
Yeah. It's got a slit in the back and it's pink and my hair is
Don't
dark.
say
It's just,
slit.
it's not right. Don't say slit. It is a slit.
Slit.
I didn't say slash. Okay, delete
God,
that.
Yeah. So Heceta Head Lighthouse, just real quick, because we are going to do a rabbit hole on this. So we're just going to give you the synopsis. It's set on a 1,000-foot high cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean. It's lighthouse that was, I think it's like 56 feet high, built in 1893. And then there's the lighthouse keeper's house down the hill that is now a bed and breakfast. So when we rolled up to the bed and breakfast, the front porch had a bunch of rocking chairs on it, and there were all these people sitting out there enjoying glasses of wine and hors d'oeuvres. And apparently that's a thing they do if you're a guest there. And then they do a 7-course breakfast if you're a guest. So definitely going back.
Oh, and where they're sitting on the porch having this wine and hors d'oeuvres is overlooking the bluff, and it is so beautiful. It's such a view. As far as you can see left and right is just ocean and rocks, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's
a great
incredible.
view.
And then there's a gift shop right there next to the bed and breakfast. And I must say, very reasonably priced gift shop for gift shops.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff. I mean, a sweatshirt for under $30, that was crazy. With the lighthouse on it.
Yeah, I think most of the sweatshirts were only $35, which
Yeah.
for a gift shop.
Even the jackets were not even, they were like $40. It was great.
Yeah. Unlike at the column where they were like $70 for a sweatshirt.
For a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Of the column.
Column, yeah.
We forgot to mention that the inn is supposedly haunted.
Oh,
Another intriguing item we'll be investigating.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So, yeah, we'll get into the history of the lighthouse and the supposed ghosts and the story behind them and all that when we go back next summer. So we're going to take our husbands and go back next summer, and we're really going to delve into the history and give you guys an inside look.
Hopefully we'll see a ghost.
I know.
Hopefully we'll be haunted.
I know. Make me a believer.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so what do we do next? Oh, we were tired.
We were tired.
Yeah, I think we've just been tired all day.
Yeah. Yes. So then we got in the car and we just started heading on down towards where we are now, Coos Bay. We wanted to go to, where do we want to go?
Well, we wanted to go to Gold Beach, too far, so we were like, Coos Bay.
We'll stop at Coos Bay.
And then Jody got onto the Google Maps and just started looking up hotels. Found this little place called the Itty Bitty Inn. And we're like, look, that name alone is worth stopping for.
So then I looked it up even farther.
Themed rooms. One of them is, get ready, guys, the Star Trek Enterprise room, which my little antenna went up, of course, because I am a giant Trekkie.
And I am not, but I am all in for a themed motel.
Yeah, you're all in for
wanted
kitschiness.
to
Yes.
I was so excited. But then, so we got excited about that when we saw it, and then we got here, and this is the highlight of my trip so far.
Lost our minds.
Lost our minds. We met Rick, R-I-K, the owner of this place, and he is just fantastic. In fact, Shea says later, I think he might be an alien because there's no way anybody could be that lovely. Because he is that lovely.
He is that lovely. He refers to himself as Mama Chicken.
Mama Chicken got your back. Mama Chicken take care of you.
And he even does the little like chicken arms, where you tuck your hands into your armpits and wave your elbows around. Before we even had given him a credit card or an ID, he brought us
into the room
to see it, and then gave us complimentary IPAs. Oh, yeah. So what are we drinking? We are drinking
Seven
IPA.
Devils.
Yeah, Seven Devils Brewing. IPA. We are sitting outside on a little table that is next to a mural of Han Solo and Greedo in the cantina. So that's where we're sitting, looking at a mural of Jawas and a mural of Uhura from TOS. That's the original Star Trek. And down further is a mural of Chewbacca and Princess Leia. And then further from that is a mural of Chekhov and Sulu from Star Trek, the original series. So incredible. The entire motel is covered in amazing murals, and they're all Star Trek and Star Wars themed. It's just the best. If you're a nerd like me, you're going to love this place.
And then fresh ground coffee, local roasted coffee, fresh ground for our coffee pot the next day. So when you go online and it says 2 stars, yeah, because it ain't fancy. Rick is 5 stars, and this place is
If
5
I could give
stars.
this 25 stars, I would.
Yeah.
Like, this place is
He
amazing.
carried my bag in.
He carried our bags in. Yeah. Incredible. In fact, when we were going around the building taking pictures of the murals, his truck was partially blocking a mural. He heard us out there, comes running out, jumps in his truck, and moves the truck so that we can take a better picture of the mural. I mean, who does that?
No, I know.
He called us angels.
Yeah. And I think he meant it.
I believed it.
I believed him when he
Yes.
called me an angel.
I know. It made me feel so special. This is what
I
we
adore
needed.
Rick.
Yeah. This is what we needed at the end of this long day. Not the Red Lion Inn. We needed
Right.
the Itty Bitty Inn in North Bend, Oregon. So we're just north of Coos Bay. This room.
Is the Oregon room, right?
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail room, and it's painted. The mural is all of the view of Washington from Oregon.
The Cascades.
The Cascades.
Yeah.
So from their view, so it's from the south, and it's got the the sisters, the mountains that are referred to as the sisters, all of the evergreen trees, blue sky. So I mean, they got a picture of a good day. My favorite day, actually. And it is a itty bitty motel. So it's itty bitty in the sense that there are only 5 rooms. And these rooms are pretty itty bitty.
Yeah. So it's a 1950s sort of motor lodge that he has taken, and every room is themed, and he's done antiques from a local antique shop. And the whole place is covered in murals, and from Simon White Owl is the local muralist, and he's just incredible. They've got locally made soaps in the lobby. And
then they're in your room as well.
And they're in your room,
That's
and
your
they're
hotel.
really nice.
Your
Yeah.
hotel soaps are these handcrafted, wonderful soaps. I'll be buying some because I've used the hand soap a couple times, and it's amazing. The attention to detail here is incredible. First of all, he let us know we are not to wear our shoes in here, which is what? And I'm all for it because especially when you go to a motel, I'm always like, I don't take my shoes off because I'm afraid what's on there.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the fact that he says don't wear your shoes in here makes me feel better about taking my shoes off.
Yeah, it's meticulously clean.
And when it comes to, he folded the end of the paper towels like people do toilet paper.
Like my mom does with toilet paper.
Yeah. I mean, the attention to detail is so incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, 100% would come back here and stay again. You're not expecting fancy. It's not fancy. You're here for, number one, Rick.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing. And you're here for the experience of these cute little rooms, the thought, the creativity, and the nostalgia. I mean, the bathroom is straight out of the 1950s. It's pink tile. It's the white sink that's attached to the wall like you would see in any motel from the 1950s, but meticulously clean, like meticulously upkept. So I haven't slept in the bed yet, so we'll see.
It feels pretty cushy.
Feels good, yeah.
The thing about Rick is he reminds you that if you are doing something you love, it's not work. Like he came out, he was cooking his dinner when we rang the doorbell. By the way, you ring a doorbell.
Yeah.
He is here all night. I mean, he
lives here. Yeah.
He is the itty bitty motel.
Absolutely.
And you can tell how much he loves it, not just by talking to him, but being in the room, on the property. It is meticulously cared for.
Yeah, he's incredible. So just coming back here to talk to him. And he topped off our IPAs a couple times. That was nice too.
Yeah.
We don't just love him because we got a little tipsy.
That's right. I loved him before I was
There
60.
are a couple electric vehicle chargers out here too. So if you're driving down the coast in your electric vehicle and you need to top up, this is the place to stay because you can charge all night long. Yeah, they've got a Tesla. I don't know if it's a fast charger. I don't know those things. So
Yep. I did see they are Tesla. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So, yeah. So hopefully the night goes well. We love this place.
Unfortunately, Rick said that it's not haunted.
Yeah. Yeah. There was rumors that the tiki room was haunted because these candles would come on by themselves. Turns out they were just flameless candles on a timer.
They would have had me. They would
So,
have had me.
yeah. So mystery ruined. Now, we do have an old-fashioned lamp hanging from the ceiling that is flickering in kind of a spooky way, but I think it's just meant to do that.
Darn it.
So, yeah, that's the end of day
Meant
one.
to do it for Shea. It's haunted to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm the skeptic. Make me a believer. So, one quick other tidbit about the Itty Bitty Inn in North Bend, Oregon. We're just plugging it. We're not getting paid for this. We just love this place.
Yes.
Old-fashioned keys on old-fashioned motel key fobs. And on the back of it, it says, live long and prosper.
Is it a key fob or just a keychain?
Key fob? No.
Fobs,
Yes, maybe.
Fob's the electric one, right?
I thought this was also a fob. I don't know.
It's just that diamond shaped plastic,
plastic,
hard
keychain
plastic
thing.
blue thing.
I say you could call it a fob.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What does fob stand for?
Fairly old butts.
I was thinking about foreign object. Gosh, Keith, that was
Butts.
something else.
Yeah.
They go and they have to inspect the
Foreign
runway for
objects
foreign objects
in your butt.
Foreign object something. Anyway, so it doesn't get stuck in the engine.
Okay. Yeah. Oregon Coast is fantastic.
Fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful coast.
We did not go to the Tillamook Cheese Factory. Everybody says, are you going to go to the Tillamook Cheese Factory? No. Been there, done that.
Yep.
And
it's all renewed. I mean, it's all rebuilt. And it was busy. It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was a Tuesday like at 2 and the place was packed.
And they call it the Creamery.
Oh, yes. The Tillamook Creamery.
It's fancy now.
I miss the old one.
Yeah, I miss the old rundown red barn.
Yes, yes.
With the little like wood cutouts of animals that had the face cut out so you could put your face in there. Yeah, yeah.
No, this is a nice fancy thing.
Yeah, it looks bougie. I don't need bougie Tillamook factory tours.
My family was dairy farmers, Holsteins. There ain't nothing fancy about that.
Oh, yeah. So you definitely don't need to go look at miserable employees processing cheese in a factory.
Don't do it.
Sorry, that was my one memory of the Tillamook Cheese Factory was cheese cubes on toothpicks and watching miserable looking employees in those hair nets.
Yeah.
Looking miserable while they did their job and we stared at them. So
well, maybe they're less miserable in a brand new building.
Yeah, maybe the working conditions are a little bit better. So because they did not look happy.
No.
So I'm
I
not
don't
shitting on
that.
Tillamook because Tillamook does make the best ice cream.
Oh, for sure.
The cultured sour cream, if you ever see Tillamook cultured sour cream, I eat that shit by the spoonful.
Oh, I would.
It's so good.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Good sour cream, I will eeat plain.
That is what my delicious ranch dip that we brought on the trip is made out of. Yeah,
that's
the only
delicious.
sour cream to get is the Tillamook cultured sour cream. Yes. So this is not an ad for Tillamook because we did kind of shit on them a little bit.
We're just making up.
Tillamook, you can still do an ad with us. We'll take back what we said about your creamery. Give us a tour. I'm sure it's lovely. Just put a smile on your employees'
When
faces,
you upgraded
please.
the building, maybe you upgraded the working conditions.
So what do we got going on tomorrow? What's our plan?
Tomorrow, we're going to get up pretty early and head on out down the coast, and hopefully we make it all the way to Fort Bragg.
Yeah, Fort Bragg, California.
7 hours.
Yep.
I'm open for anything you want to stop at and do on the way down. Redwood Forest, right? Not Redwood Forest. I'm
Redwood-
sorry. Old Growth Forest. No.
Redwood National Park.
Oh, yes, we are going.
Yes. And there
by the
is-
way, Shay, that's on my bucket list. I've been dreaming of going there.
Have
so I'm
you?
pretty, yeah.
Me too. I've never been.
I've never been there either. Keith's grandpa, my husband's grandpa, had been, long, long time ago, and picked up a seedling. Here's another rabbit hole. He picked up a seedling and planted it in his backyard in White Center. And of course, it grew very, 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 very big. So there's this giant redwood and white that takes up his whole backyard now. And he's not there anymore, but yeah.
Sure, all the neighbors
Little
are annoyed.
tidbit about redwood. Anyway, I saw that big giant tree back there, and knowing that it was only a couple years old in comparison to the other ones, right?
Yeah.
And so if it was that big, I had to go see the others.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be pretty special. All right, guys. Well, this is the end of day 1 of the first Rainy Day Rabbit Holes road trip. We will see you next time.
We'll be reporting tomorrow
Yeah.
on another
and it'll
day
be the
2.
southern Oregon coast and the northern California coast. So we're going to get to Fort Bragg, hopefully.
Yep.
Well, all right. So if you know, is it a keychain or a key fob? What does fob mean? You can email us at...
Rabbit hole. That's a rabbit hole.
That's a rabbit hole.
We'll go down a fob rabbit hole.
What's our email?
Our email is rainydayrabbitholes.com. No, I don't think it is. We'll have to look it up.
Oh, well, we have individual ones. You can email
Oh, yes.
Jody at rainydayrabitholes.com.
Or Shea at rainydayrabitholes.com.
Right. And we do have a website, but it's not really put together yet. And it's just rainydayrabitholes.com. Don't go there yet.
Keep your eye out on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We'll be putting up little teasers and letting you know what we're up to.
Yeah, we'll put up pictures of the itty bitty inn. And yeah, you guys are going to love this place. So come down the Oregon coast. It's beautiful. You won't regret it. Stay at the itty bitty inn. Go to Heceta Head Lighthouse. They do tours, I think, of the lighthouse from 11 to 3 p.m.
Yes.
So if you want to go inside that lighthouse and there's another building that they open up, you want to go to Heceta Head from 11 to 3. Go and look at the website for the bed and breakfast. Go stay at the bed and breakfast. It looks amazing.
Well, there you have it. That's a wrap up for day 1 of our road trip.
I got to tell you, day 1 was really fun, and ending up at the itty bitty end was a nice way to end the day.
Yes. Now, day 2 is a little different. It didn't go as smoothly, but we did end up having fun on that day after a small dumpster fire. So make sure you listen to episode 3 where it gets real interesting. That will be dropping on Wednesday, October 11th.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenging day, but we survived and we came out stronger on the other side. And we also learned about how each other handles a mini crisis.
Yeah.
I panic first.
Yes.
And Jody panics later.
Yes.
In the meantime, keep listening to episode 2, which is available right now, to hear about Jody's fall down the rabbit hole on Astoria, Oregon. And I think she's got some juicy gossip about Astoria.
I do. A little bit. Historical juicy gossip.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's our show for today. Make sure you subscribe so that you will get our episodes when they drop every Wednesday morning at Spotify or anywhere you get your podcasts.
Yeah, and if you want to see pictures of our road trip and all of our adventures, follow us on Instagram at Rainy Day Rabbit Holes Pod. If you have any questions or suggestions for rabbit holes, you can email either of us. I'm Shea at rainydayrabitholes.com.
Or me, Jody, at rainydayrabitholes.com. Or you can DM us on Instagram. I want to say thank you to everyone for all your support and sticking with us through our growing pains. We are learning this process and our format, and we will be growing for the first year at least. So thank everyone for your support and join us on this new adventure. Stick with us.
Yes, and we promise we will get better. And I know I'm the nasally one, and I don't know how much I can do to change that.
That's funny because that's what I say about myself. That's why everybody says we sound alike.
Oh,
the nasal.
We're both the nasally one. Oh, no. Well, I hope that you guys can handle the sounds of our voices again. And even if you hated this, give us another try. Please?
Don't go. I swear I'll get better.
I know. I'll change for you. This is not a healthy relationship.
No.
All right, guys. We love you. Thank you so much. And
see you down the rabbit hole.